welcome to the show. It is November something, who cares? And we're going to drink beer and talk about crap. So we have a special guest today. We have Julian, who is a brewmaster and island-dwelling troll, I guess. But
I'm currently drinking a bitter IPA that I have brewed, but in the spirit of the Crafty boys, we're going forward with a commercially produced beer here from East Van, who has stolen the East Van logo based on the gangster shit East Van history that is the horror of East Van. I mean, so this is, to me, this is the worst of the worst of the worst. A rice lager from East Van with the gangster East Van shit logo on it. I mean, give me a fucking break. All right?
Okay. And that's before you've even tried it. Wow.
I think exactly. So on that note, first of all, who are you? Dave? Dave, I want you, of course, to start because you have a unique drink yet again. What is that drink? Why are you drinking it? And please tell me that it is going to be worth it. And
well, here's hoping, because I've done this before. Actually, I guess I should show it, right? So it's this here, Fentimans Cherry. I can't remember what I had previously by these guys, but it was tasty. And figured, why not try this one? You don't get a whole lot for your money, I must say. 275.
275 milliliters?
That's 275 liters.
And what did that cost you?
That's it. I can't remember. I bought this ages ago, but it was probably like $2 or $3.
Huh.
So basically, it's more expensive than fuel.
Yes.
If you can find any.
All right, let's have the review. Come on, I want to hear. Is it better than Cherry Coke?
No.
Not better than Cherry Coke.
What about Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, you're
get some vodka, please. Get some vodka.
You're laying a trap, bastard. Because Shane knows my history with the doctor.
Oh yes, the Dr. Pepper addiction that he went through. Which, by the way, I just listened to a podcast recently about the history of Dr. Pepper, and I predict that you're going to be dead within 6 months of today. So, you consumed so much Dr. Pepper.
All right. Well then,
but overall, tastes like cherry, tastes like cola mixed together.
My job tomorrow. You know what? It doesn't taste like cherry.
No,
actually, or not much. That's why
is that part of the problem?
Semi-facetiousness about is it better than Cherry Coke? No, it's not.
Oh wow, that's
in terms of. I mean, if you're a pop guy, in terms of cherry flavor, unfortunately, the Cherry Coke seems to be the flavor. This isn't bad, but I don't know if I'd do this one again. The other one I had, which I can't remember, was way better. That was tastier than this one for sure.
All right. Well, I guess we'll have to.
It's kind of a half thumb. We'll do a half thumb.
Okay. Yeah. So a weak floppy half thumb. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I'm actually kind of surprised. If there's a cherry cola out there that doesn't taste like cherry in any real sense of the word, then I guess that's bad. All right, Alan, I know that you and Locke have got a plan. You've had a plan.
Hey, before we move on, is anybody else picking up like an echo?
Oh, probably.
Echo.
I don't think so.
Don't think so?
Echo.
Don't think so.
All right. So Locke and I kind of have the same thing. So we talked about this in an earlier episode, maybe a few weeks ago. So one of the part owners of Vancouver Island Brewing also is a part owner of Muskoka Brewing in Ontario. And what they have done is they have sort of created a collaboration beer between the two. So Locke has the Muskoka brewing version of the beer, and I have the Vancouver Island Brewing version of the beer. Now, we can't really sort of like compare with each other because we got nothing. We got no frame of reference here. But he's got the Muskoka one. I got the Vancouver Island Brewing one, and we're gonna compare notes if we.
Yeah.
So we have to depend on your opinion and Locke's opinion.
Yes.
Oh my God, this is going to be a problem.
All right.
So-
First, I'm going to start things off by reading out what it says here. We're proud to partner with our friends at Vancouver Island Brewing to create this famous West Coast treat. This Nanaimo Bar Porter is true to the decadent dessert, starting with chocolate on top, vanilla in the middle, and finally a base note of coconut with a balanced sweetness throughout.
Oh God.
Contains barley, wheat, almonds. Did I read that right? Almonds. Does yours have almonds in it?
No.
Huh.
Not that I'm aware of, anyway. So mine says here, once voted Canada's favorite confection, there are few things more island than the Nanaimo Bar. Decadent and sweet, featuring flavors of graham cracker, chocolate, coconut, and vanilla. This Imperial Porter is our homage to the world-famous treat from Edith Adams' 1953 prize cookbook.
I like where you're going with this. Let's go. What do you say, man? I'm
All right,
very
so
excited about this.
it's the Nanaimo Bar Imperial Porter. I've got the Vancouver Island Brewing one. Now, we've done this one on the show before, and actually we gave it a bit of a pass. As far as a porter goes, it was really, really good. But as far as the Nanaimo Bar goes, it didn't really have much of that going on. But that was a few years ago, so we thought we'd try it again this year.
Well, just to clarify, the beer that, Alan, that you have and the one that Locke have are not exactly the same.
They're not exactly the same. And also his alcohol by volume, his ABV is slightly higher than mine. So I don't know exactly.
Well, it should be. Locke's a bigger guy.
Well,
Fair enough.
Right. The height requires more alcohol to get to his brain. It has to travel farther. So,
Clearly.
Locke, what is your first impression?
Is it
All
a
right.
jarring experience?
So I'd like to preface this by saying that this was an opportunity for Alan and I to team up on one, and so it seemed like a good thing to do. And I'm glad that we had this opportunity to do this. But you all sort of know historically how much I love sweet beers. This is a sugar bomb. I've had rum and cokes drier than this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And actually, there's a little bit of a rum and coke thing going on about it, if I'm to be honest.
That's not a bad thing, though, is it?
No, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it in rum and coke terms, it's actually turning me around to it slightly. Does it taste like a Nanaimo bar? Sort of, insofar as Nanaimo bars are, basically sweet.
Locke, what's the
Okay.
prominent flavor? Is it coconut? Is it
There's coconut in there. I'm getting a taste of coconut.
if it was on tap and you ordered one, would you order a second one?
Oh no! If it was on tap, I would know better than to order one.
Well, okay. Well, but it's Tuesday night and they're $1.99 pints, right? So you got one. Would you order a second one?
I'm on whiskeys and soda, man.
You want what the whiskeys and soda?
All right, Alan.
all right.
Going
So I'm liking this better this time than I did the last time we had a few years ago. I seem to remember that the dominant flavor was coconut before. And now I'm kind of detecting that cocoa is a little bit more prevalent. I do detect the coconut on the back end a little bit. Still not really tasting like a Nanaimo bar, though. But as far as a porter goes, it is good. It is on the sweet side. I have a feeling that Locke's is probably a little bit sweeter than mine.
Yeah.
But
So once you go black, you'll never go back.
it's enjoyable. Hey, and to use Julian's thing there, if it was a pint for $1.99, yeah, I'd get it again, but
All
only
right,
because
then.
it's $1.99.
Hey, Dave, are you missing the sweet beer experience?
I am.
Okay. I just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
But I think I was still partaking when we did this one, and I think I was in on
Yes.
it for the original one. Yeah.
You
I
were.
believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think I was any more of a fan than you guys were.
You
So
were not. You were not.
Well, it's like,
honestly,
remember, didn't we do that around the same time that we did that cake one? Or are they actually, you guys did the cake one because I couldn't find it.
Possibly.
And you said that the cake one was kind of gross.
So,
I
Alan,
like the cake.
a
Yeah.
scale of 1 to 10.
Give it a 6.5.
Lock, scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, wow.
A scale
He
of
hates it.
of
He
what?
totally hates it.
A scale of 1 to 10 of what? Of
If it was a 10,
overtly
You
sweet
$1.99 a pint,
dessert
you'd be
beers?
drinking all night
Of
long.
overtly sweet dessert beers. This is a full 7 of overtly sweet dessert beers. Of beers generally, I'd give it maybe not a 5, 4, 3.5.
4 to 7.
Fair.
We're still working on total lawyer, right? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So if I sued you, your client, that is, in
Yeah.
order to say that calling it a 4 is an outrage, and you need to prove that in fact that's wrong. What if I said it was a 7, and is there any way to prove that it's a 7?
Oh yeah. Well, I think the way you would prove that it's a 7 is if you put it next to a European, sort of one of those sweeter sort of bruns. I think, or for that matter, tracare, right? So it's like a very sort of over the top Scottish sort of malty kind of a beer.
Wouldn't you have to get like an
Next to
affidavit or
those,
something?
if you put it next to those, this doesn't have the complexity, and so that's why it doesn't make it any further than a 7. But then when you stick it next to something that's obviously, just it tastes revolting, but people drink it to get drunk, like say, your sort of your Colt 45 malt liquor. You know what I mean? I'd say this is better than that. This makes this is like of the darker sort of Danish Fax beers. Like this I'd say I'd like this maybe better than that.
Maybe we should use it in the black and tan, half and half.
Maybe.
Okay.
When you use
So
more,
this is sufficiently sweet that
Yeah.
if we're talking about when you say black and tan, you're talking like stout and lager is sort of the
Or pale ale on top of it, yeah.
pale ale.
Exactly right.
Yeah. I mean that might take the sweetness down enough that something else might come out of it.
It would rescue this beer, maybe, possibly, partly.
Maybe if you did it like a with a cider, like a Crown Float, this would be as bad as Turbo Shandy. The hangover would be appalling.
This damning with faint. That's not even damning with faint praise. There is no praise.
No, I gotta say. So, what are we drinking?
We are drinking this abomination of a beer. An outrageous assault on the palate of a craft beer lover. Jasmine Rice Lager.
I'm going to inspect the can to see if there's a story here.
It's beautifully packaged.
All right, so this beer is apparently a design, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so here we go. Jasmine Rice Lager contains Pilsner malt, jasmine rice, etc., etc. Tasting notes: over 100 pounds of freshly cooked jasmine. Careful there! Don't break your fingers there.
I didn't break a nail.
Freshly-
Look at this manicure.
pretty astounding.
Thank you.
Jasmine rice added directly into the mash, attempting to bring out the unique flavor. This creates a very light, sparkling rice lager that helps refresh the palate. Inspired by our friends at the Lunch Lady on Commercial Drive in Vancouver, British Columbia.
The lamest thing you've ever heard. Exactly.
I have to say, I don't know the Lunch Lady at all.
No one does. She's only good for one thing, and it's not suitable for this family show.
So what's the smell like to you?
It's got a normal dry lager smell, so it's obviously lager yeast, and it has been cold fermented, so I'll give them that.
All right, cheers. Smells like Lucky. Alcohol by volume in this can is 5.4%. So it tastes like lager.
Yes, a generic lager to me, generally a good one. Nothing wrong with it, and a little above your garden variety 5% lager. I can tell you this: if I brought this in a big case full into the dressing room after a hockey game, there'd be a lot of noise. But once they drank it, they'd be fine with it. You know why? Because this is a lager in the Canadian style. This isn't going to. There's no jasmine on the nose here.
No,
there's nothing going on.
Couldn't even tell you what jasmine smells or tastes like because every time I've had it, it's been mixed with other things, right?
Well, I had a Chinese girlfriend once back in the. Never mind that. Here's the thing. How much rice did they say they'd put in it? 100 pounds?
100 pounds of jasmine rice.
Jasmine rice. It's unlikely that the minor scent of jasmine rice would survive the fermentation process.
So they didn't put. That's
You
not.
don't know what 100 pounds is in terms of a percentage of the total batch, right?
It says, freshly. So 100 pounds of freshly cooked jasmine rice was added directly into the mash.
Now, if they'd added, along with that, some sweet and sour pork and some chicken chow mein, it'd be okay.
Yeah, this is not. This to me, my first reaction is that it tastes like Lucky beer.
It's better than that, but it's got that. It's got
Okay.
the normal dry. It's better than Lucky. I gotta.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, so let me ask the brewmaster. So 100 pounds of cooked rice. Is that like a lot? Like how for a batch like this that they would make?
Oh, that's
Like
a good
how
question.
much? How much other stuff would they put? Like how many pounds of other stuff are we talking about?
Does it depend on how big the tank is at East Van, or what they use?
How big is the fermenter is the main question. But the thing is that with all of these craft breweries naming and labeling their beers in a way that tries to make them stand out and make them unique, realistically, the overwhelming majority of the sugar in the mash is going to be pale malt.
Right.
So adding a bag of 50 kilos of rice from the Real Canadian Superstore into the mash is not going to significantly affect the flavor. And I'm glad about that.
Yeah.
Rice lager's the worst. You have these things in these stuff that comes from Vietnam and Thailand and whatever or American Budweiser, where there's a significant amount of adjunct in the form of corn or rice. It significantly lowers the quality of the beer in terms of traditional flavor. You know, obviously the correct
It creates a cidery
to be
kind of
used in
flavor.
beer
Right?
should
Are
be
you about to say the Rheinsgebalt?
Reinheitsgebot. 1516
Yeah.
adjuncts not allowed. Well, look, even in Germany, they're still doing this. Okay, they're not just goose stepping around at the main square in Berlin and drinking the Reinheitsgebot beer. Okay, they're putting just as much rice in their different kinds of beers there as there are anywhere else in the world. But you know, I mean, this is not better beer than what you get in the Czech Republic. And rice isn't cheaper here than barley malt extract. We don't grow rice in Canada, but we do grow barley.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like they're saving money. They're doing it to tell a story, to put a fancy label on it, and maybe appeal somehow to the sort of,
Hipsters.
Chinese multicultural nature of Vancouver.
And truthfully, there is definitely a place
Cheap beer.
for like now I don't know. Put it this way: how does it compare with Qingdao?
I love Qingdao. Heineken, we call it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
how
This is much more like a regular Canadian lager than Qingdao. Qingdao has that European lager taste, and there's a reason for it, right? Qingdao means Green Island. That's the name of the brewery, and they hired Dutch brewmasters to go over there and create that for them in order to try to replicate the taste of that beer, and that's why it tastes like Heineken. This is not that. This is a lager through and through of the North American style, in my view, and that actually is really good. Actually, if you like that kind of beer, certainly not worth the money. That was over $4 for that tall can.
Wow. So my question to you guys is, why did you get this beer tonight?
Because it's an obscenity. It's a blight on the craft beer drinker's palate.
Okay.
Jasmine rice lager. Really?
All right.
It's the worst of the worst.
What was the other one?
So you got it because you thought you'd
Another
hate
one
it?
that's not as bad. We've got another one coming up from the same brewery.
Oh, okay, cool.
They've got some big investors. They've got a big location here, just off Terminal, on the downtown east side of Vancouver,
Yep.
and they're loud and proud East Van. They're proud of it.
Okay.
It's interesting what comes through in terms of the flavor profile, in terms of the things that you can do with the malts you're using, right? One of the more impressive feats of this that I've experienced was Rogue Brewery in Portland did a toasted malt brew where they toasted the malt literally 100 feet from the mash tun, or the whatever it is, the big thingamy, and the thing is that you could actually taste it in the final product. It really had a significant flavor, and it had this sort of really toasty sort of. When I say toasty, I mean it tasted like toast, like that slightly
Just to that.
caramelized on the way to burnt sort of feeling that, anyway, very good. But evidently this jasmine rice thing, it was all just a gimmick. It didn't really come through in the flavor. Yeah.
Totally. They didn't toast the rice, obviously. We'll toast them. Cheers.
Yeah.
But look, that's good. Do you guys have a crystal? Is that Locke? Is that glass you've got there? Is that crystal?
No, it's not. It's the complimentary glass I got with the deluxe kit of what is it? What was it?
IPAs?
Yeah, no, not IPAs. They were
Those barrel
Oh, that-
aged.
That thing you bought. Oh, right, the
The
chocolate
UVB
thing.
76 stout series produced by Wellington Brewery. But I decided I'd change glassware to see if that helped the beverage at all, and maybe a little bit.
So no longer a jarring experience, so to speak.
So to speak.
So to speak. All right. Well, we've got another one from East Van. We'll get to if the show's not over yet. Is the show over yet?
Yeah,
Is the show
good,
over yet,
good.
Shane?
Show's not over, no.
Is the show over yet, Shane? No.
Who
We have
are you?
time. We have time.
Yeah.
All right then. So much time to see Piper.
Carolers spilling it all over the floor, man. You're wasting good beer.
Sorry, I'll get a cloth.
Don't care. I've had explosive beers here before.
Have you?
Hey, what's going on?
I was just gonna say that this past week has been filled with nothing but misery out in the world. I mean, out here, Vancouver is effectively cut off from the rest of the country by road. All of the major highways. Have you not been following this at all? I don't know how.
No. I've been linearizing.
We have been inundated with a storm that came up from the typhoon, not typhoon, the Pineapple Express came through and dumped within. I gather it was about an average of more than 100 millimeters a day, which basically wiped out all the highways in the interior because Coquihala's got like 4 washouts.
Jesus.
The other highways are all closed because of washouts.
Huh.
So
The
yeah,
Malahat-
and
the Malahat
Vancouver has
washed
no
out.
land roads going to any parts of Canada anymore.
Fuck.
Which is actually really great.
Yeah. So screw you guys back there. And of course,
Victoria?
Victoria is cut off from the rest of Vancouver Island because half of the highway on the Malahat fell into the ocean or something.
Victoria is out of gas right now.
Oh yeah, I've heard this too. Yeah, so basically,
Holy fuck.
yeah. So for example, on Monday at around noon, I was on a phone call with a client, and my phone dropped. Like the call dropped, which basically 24 hours later, or actually more than that, was when the phones came back, because a bunch of the fiber coming to the Lower Mainland was also washed out. So yeah, it's been a nightmare for a lot of things.
Shane.
We're running out of supplies. Victoria is going to eventually go back to horse and buggy. And
I have less
yeah,
than a quarter of a tank.
and
so-
right now, the Lower Mainland is Abbotsford was flooded. Yeah,
Shane,
it's
can
weird.
Can you bring up some? There's a video from the Malahat of people going up the Malahat, and like the cement guards on either side. It's like the water is almost at the top of those cement barricades.
Wow.
Let's see if I can find something here.
It's a horrible situation for the people, no doubt about it. So God be with them and their families. I mean that. I'm just saying though that we have a situation here where almost all of the towns and the farmland in British Columbia are built at the bottom of mountain valleys and on
Yes.
floodland in the Fraser River Delta. I mean, and so look, has this happened before? Well, this was a big storm. I get it. A lot of people say that the dikes and the levees that were built to protect them against the 100-year storm were still breached on this storm. I get that. However, the wise man built his house upon the rock, and we still can't. I mean, Sumas Prairie has been totally flooded. Sumas Prairie, the level of Sumas Prairie is lower than the high tide level of the Fraser River. Right?
Exactly.
They have a gate to protect them from the river flooding that land every time the tide comes in. So the combination of that with 250 millimeters of rain, and guess what?
Hey, Alan, I'm sharing it on the screen. Same video.
Oh, okay. Oh no, that's a different video.
But anyway, basically,
Here.
yeah. So this
Here, zoom
this
me
has
up.
been.
Zoom me up.
Oh, that one there. Yeah, no, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah. But basically, yeah. So, but I gather there's been a couple places where the Malahat Highway lost the eastern lanes, like they disappeared. Yeah, and actually, I only just learned this today because this CBC was talking about it. Was about the whole Sumas Valley where it used to be a lake, and I had no idea that's what it was.
It's a dam.
So they
It's been
they
dammed
drained
to
it
create
in-
farmland. Yes.
Yeah, back in like
Yes.
the 1920s or something. Or,
Yes.
or
And way back in the day, before any of you were born, I actually lived on Hatzick Prairie. Hatzick Prairie is a flat area east of Mission in the Fraser Valley. It's between Mission and Agassiz in the mid to upper Fraser Valley. Hatzick Prairie has a series of dikes with floodgates in them. And if you look back, since 1948 was a big one, 1990 was a big one, and because things happen obviously in the Fraser River, and when these big storms come through, and they breaches occur, and people get flooded out, and then a couple of decades go by, and everybody gets complacent, and they build the dikes a little higher, and then they rebuild the houses, and then it happens again, and everybody freaks out. Well, that doesn't mean that I'm belittling what happened to the people. I'm just saying that human beings can't resist building behind the dike. Don't build below the dam, guys. Don't build below the dam. The wise man built his house upon the rock, but we are not wise.
Well, it could be Florida. They get this every 2 years. I mean,
It is Florida in a micro kind of way. I mean, we got situations up here. The Coquihalla River washed out the highway. Merritt, I don't know what happened there, but again, this is a breach of. The water because it's built in the bottom of a valley, the confluence of 5 rivers in the bottom of a valley. Same with Princeton.
sorry, Merritt
Yeah,
got
Princeton, BC has basically been wiped off the face of the planet to a certain degree because they're right on a basically a sandbar in the middle of the river going around them, and that flooded the entire lower part. And
Did we just
Fernie
say
got
Merritt
flooded.
got flooded?
Sorry?
Did you just say that Merritt got flooded?
Hugely.
Yeah, yeah.
The whole town's evacuated.
The place.
Oh yeah, this is the reality is that a lot of these towns have been evacuated and they're not allowed to go back yet. Yeah, if you've been winterizing, everyone out here has been drowning. Like right now in the Sumas Valley, there are they think that they're going to lose what do they have 60,000 cows or something? They're going to lose half of them because basically people got evacuated. They locked the barns, and then the barns flooded, and then all these cows drowned inside of the barn. So they're having all these kinds of nightmare issues that
It's an utter tragedy.
Oh, man.
But anyway,
I just got it now.
and this has all happened since the rain started on Friday, and by Sunday people were getting evacuated,
Cows, chickens.
horses, dogs.
Yeah, it's a lot to squawk about, I'm telling you.
But yeah, I mean it's been pretty bad. I mean Victoria is gone. It's been completely wiped away.
There are no girls at the Strathcona.
What?
The flood waters are so high, there's no girls at the Strathcona Hotel.
Sure. But I mean that's just our local goings on.
But by the way, in Vancouver, nothing going on.
Yeah, we're bored here.
Nothing.
We're
Zero.
but we're gonna run out of stuff. I gather the pipeline is also part of the reason because for some of these washouts around the Coquihalla and a couple other highways is that the pipeline is being built and roughly mirrored with the existing pipeline, but it's only this year that they were clearing out all of the trees on the hillsides to do this work, and now of course this amount of water was not really predicted. And that's where a lot of this is happening. So,
But that's not an official report.
no,
This is what people who are this is what the lefties are complaining about.
Yeah, exactly. So I want the pipeline. I'm not saying the pipeline's
No,
bad.
but I'm just saying that those reports are not engineers' reports.
No.
Those are people who say, "I've never seen it this bad, especially since they cut down the trees for the pipeline." Oh, God!
But essentially, the main thing is that the Coquihalla Highway is probably not going to be reopened until this time next year.
It's quite bad. It's quite bad. If you look at the way that the river undercut the Coquihalla Highway, this is not something that you just fill in with a small backhoe. This is going to take. It's the highway's been completely undercut and it collapsed into the canyon. I mean, it's big. It's big.
And some people have been killed by the landslides on the highways too. So,
But as big as it is, I bet you Keanu Reeves could jump a bus over it.
probably true. I mean,
Hopefully, we can get him to do that and maybe bring some money in.
Yeah, hey, maybe.
Have you noticed how, in terms of leading men, there's a fairly high Canadian quotient. If you take Keanu Reeves divided by the pirate guy, what's his face?
pirate guy.
The of the Caribbean, Depp.
Yeah. Johnny Depp. Yeah. Keanu Reeves divided by Johnny Depp equals
A gay bad actor.
What are you talking about? A gay bad actor?
Have you seen
Reeves
Johnny
by
in Pirates of the
Johnny Depp?
Caribbean?
Speaking of,
ultimately equals Lou Gehrig's disease, or Back to the Future. Michael J. Fox.
That's Parkinson's, but yes.
Speaking of Keanu Reeves, this poster was released today, this morning, for the next Matrix film, which comes out in December.
I spoke too soon. Yeah, you're right. He does look gay.
So there you go. That's basically Keanu Reeves on any day of the year, doing what's going on. I don't know who these other characters are. I have a clue. Of course, is Trinity, but yeah. So
is that supposed to be Lawrence Fishburne there?
He's playing a Lawrence Fishburne role, but I don't know if he is
actually Lawrence Fishburne
replaced. I'm sure there's a reason for it. Okay, so here is the second beer. It is called the.
Why was there
Humble
ever a sequel to The Matrix? I mean, I know. You cash in on anything you can if you're Hollywood, but fuck me.
Well, exactly.
God,
supposedly the writer-directors are saying that it is worth it.
Okay, so what is it? You keep beaming out. What is it?
Okay, it's the Humble Hive. Hand it in front of your face would be better.
Humble Pie?
The camera's trying to catch up now. It's called the Humble Hive Honey Brown Ale from East Van. It has a really cool label on it, which hopefully won't beam out. Oh, never mind. But it's a skull with honey hives in its eyeballs.
It's absolutely. I mean,
Yeah,
really?
okay.
Come on.
That's you know what? Shut up and open it, and that way you can
let the beer speak for
with education.
Try not to break a nail.
All right, so there you go. Let's see what it's all about. I'm not even done this tragedy.
Can I make a confession here that speaking of honey brown, Sleeman's honey brown was like one of my go-tos back in the day.
I agree.
Like,
same here.
I love that stuff. I haven't had it in years and years and years.
You remember what I was saying?
So you haven't had your go-to beer in years and years and years.
Well, it was my go-to. It is not my go-to anymore.
Like in the
But
90s?
It was at one point.
In the 90s.
Yes, in the 90s.
All right. Well, look. This, by the way, for those of you who might not know or recall, this logo, the East Van logo, is on a gigantic signpost at the corner of East 6th Avenue and Clark Drive, and in the sort of, I don't know what you call that placement. It's
the corner of 6th and Clark.
Just this horrible industrial corner, and this logo. Why is it used? Because this was a patch used by East Van gangs. It's a stylized version of a sort of local Hell's Angels patch, and they celebrate this. I mean, it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. I mean,
yeah, the East Van cross is a big deal.
There it is. It's just like, really?
So yeah, wait. So I've seen people with that tattooed on their ass.
Yes,
on their ass.
Doesn't Parallel 49 also use it?
I've seen it tattooed on the inner thighs of 18-year-old girls.
Was that after you got arrested or before?
Well,
all right, so here we go.
I pulled up in my van and paid them $50, and they showed me.
This is awful.
It's malty.
Why is it awful?
Malty?
Why is it awful? Tell us about why.
It's malty. It is what it says it is.
It's on the roof of my mouth.
It's a brown ale through and through, absolutely true to the style. I don't know about honey.
It does not taste like honey. It tastes like malt.
No, this business of honey, I think it tries people who talk about putting honey in their brews.
Sweet?
No, it's not sweet, and not cloying in any way. But the idea that, let's put it this way, in my view, I know what honey costs. No brewer could afford to put enough honey into the brew to actually give a honey flavor to it in the form of that would kindly make it a braggot. So it's all labeling. You'd have to put so much honey in there that it would double the cost of the beer. We know what honey costs compared to malt. So, again, this is just some brewer and getting together with some two people from their tiny, minuscule marketing department, and let's make a humble hive honey brown ale because we're not that busy this week. However, there's nothing wrong with this. This is a brown ale. If this was $1.99 a pint, at my local on a Tuesday afternoon, I'd be absolutely destroyed on this by the time Crafty Boys started.
Wow.
Pass me the can here. I'll read off the lore if there is any.
Mhm.
All right. So this particular beer,
Mm.
no
No problem drinking this.
English brown
No problem.
ale.
No problem drinking this either. Really, it's just that I feel it's kind of like
This okay. So here we go. So
lame marketing.
in collaboration with a local honeybee company. Sorry, it took me a moment to find that word.
Mhm.
East Van Bees. We brewed this English brown ale to complement what bees have been producing throughout the summer months, with a slight residual sweetness. Really? No, I don't think so. And an aroma reminding you of walnut bread. I guess that's a thing. This is a malt forward,
Yes, it is that.
and I can't read this.
A malt forward honey brown ale. Here, I'll do it for you. Age is a terrible thing.
Oh no, it's true.
The thing is that maybe they'll create some buzz with this. I don't know, but
I'm out. Yeah, I mean the malt forward is basically we forgot to put the honey in, and it's just all the malt.
I mean, it could be special.
What time is it? I think I need to be going off to bed now.
Dave's like, is it time to end the show? It actually is almost time.
What I got, boys? Sorry.
Thank you, Alan. That was definitely the statement I was thinking of. Yeah, I don't know. These beers are underwhelming. I think too is. But again, we've had a lot of breweries that have made unique beers, or at least what we think are unique beers, and then they turn out to be, that.
Yeah, they're enough to make you break out in hives.
Now there was a honey beer that I had years ago. It was from Britain, and I can't remember what it was called. Maybe you guys. No, it wasn't Boddington. It came in a green bottle, and the bottle wasn't like round; it was like oval.
You're not talking about mead, are you?
No, it wasn't mead.
Okay.
It was a honey-based beer, and I can't remember what it was called. And I was just spent some time on my phone looking it up, and I can't find it. But it was really good, and you could really taste the honey in it.
So would it be considered?
Can you remember the label?
Would it be considered a braggot?
I don't know. Maybe.
Braggot being a blend of malt and honey to make an ale.
I suppose. I don't know. I didn't know enough about beer at the time to really fully appreciate it. But I've had enough beers since that claim to have honey in them. And I realized that none of them actually tasted like honey, but this one did. And it was like this mass-produced beer that had been imported from England. I can't remember what it was called.
Well, this beer.
I'm trying to think of what the label looked like. Do you remember?
It was mostly what I remember. Mostly, it's the bottle itself. It was green, and it wasn't like round. It was almost like a medicine bottle, where it was
English?
It was elongated.
Was it English?
Yes, it was English.
Huh.
And I don't remember.
Huh.
Anyway, it was really good, and I haven't seen it in years. It probably doesn't exist anymore.
Was it the queen of beers?
No.
Oh.
I want to say it was like stews or something, but
I cannot remember. It's probably on our list.
No, we never did it on the show. I had that
How far back does the show go? When was your first episode?
about 6 or 7 years ago,
2015?
Okay.
and I had it about 15 years ago.
I think it was 2015.
Do you like this, Shane? You like this honey brown?
No, the malt heaviness is really.
You don't like the
throwing me off.
malty. You like the jasmine rice lager better, don't you?
No.
No, is it? No. There's nothing wrong with
Hush, Peanut Gallery.
There's nothing wrong with these beers.
No, I mean, I guess to me, you know what this tastes like? It tastes like beer that hasn't finished fermenting.
Did you guys talk about the Nitro Stout from East Van last week?
No.
Well, here's what happened. I had a 4-pack of East Van Nitro Stout, which, by the way, won the gold medal in the Canadian Brewing Awards last year, the best stout in Canada. This stuff is awesome. I thought Alan's going to love this, and then Shane got me drunk, and I fell asleep and missed the whole show.
No.
It happens on Wednesdays.
Shane does that. Did you?
Yes, we drunk a lot.
When you woke up, was your underwear still on? Like,
I don't wear
Shane,
it.
Shane can do that.
He's a commando
sometimes.
man.
I go commando all the time. I've gone commando since 1989.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't afford it anymore.
The question,
All right.
They got me. They got me.
is different, and that's
I'm out.
so this Nitro Stout.
It's the closest thing to Guinness that you'll ever have and love made in Canada.
Even more so than the cobblestone stout from Mill Street.
Um,
That one is really good.
Mhm.
Yeah. I didn't have any, though. I don't have the one you had, so.
yes, you did. I came over here. That's what we got drunk on. Then I had to go home and fell asleep. Remember?
No, you never broke it out.
Yes, I did. We drank 2 of the 4-pack, and we're going to save 2 for the show. And then I hit the wall because I'd been to Haley's. I went to
have
Haley's
no
at Happy
memory
Hour.
of this.
I went to Haley's at Happy Hour and got absolutely
It
destroyed.
must be really
on,
good then.
Oh, it's really good. I was thinking of Alan on this one. You're going to love this.
Okay.
This stuff. And I say it just to support the position because it wasn't just me. You don't win. It's one thing to win. To win a local brewing contest with some local medals. This was the Canadian Brewing Awards best in class stout for last year. So East Van Nitro Stout, it's called.
Okay. I wonder if I can find it here. I'll have a look for it.
I think you will. I was given this by the rep, so I didn't buy it in the liquor store. So I don't know if it's available in the liquor store. I was given to it by the rep, so I don't know. But we can easily find out. Anyway, definitely this stuff is it's 6.4% alcohol. It's smooth. It dances on the tongue like Guinness does. There's no stupid flavors like pumpkin and chocolate and coffee and whatever. This is a legitimate Guinness style stout with about 1.5% AVB more than you get in any export levels Guinness. You're gonna like it. Trust me on this. And I'm the type of guy. Listen, I'm the type of guy that when I go to the bar and they've got a stout on tap, I have one, but I usually like it, but don't want another. It's enough, No, I could drink another one of these the same way that you can drink Guinness one after the other. And I would also say that this is the best locally made stout I've had since Cranach's Backhand of God stout.
Oh,
remember that one?
Okay. Yes.
Cranach. Have you ever met those folks? The brewmaster and crew.
Yes, the wife who is the hop expert.
Yeah.
Is her name Hannah?
That sounds right.
I think something like that. Yeah,
Like
they
that.
have their brewery is, as far as I know, it still is in near Kamloops.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yes, and they've got this vertically integrated little brewery going on where they feed the.
They're like Druids. They're basically modern day Druids, are they not?
And homesteaders it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Anyway, Backhand of God stout, absolutely on my list of best stouts of all time. This Nitro Stout from East Van Brewing, I think it's worth picking one up if you can find it.
Is Backhand of God still available? Like, I'm not too sure. Like, I
don't know.
haven't seen Cranog around in a while.
I haven't had one in years. We'll have to ask Mr. Google.
I will look.
Shane. To the back computer.
I'm getting quite drunk, boys. This is quite good.
Well, be careful. You might fall
For having me
asleep.
on the
And
show.
Shane will take advantage of you again.
I just apparently it's still around.
I'd be the fucker, not the fucky.
You can buy the.
Say that's a family show. Sorry,
It's a family
look,
show,
look
sir.
Look at the comments. They're all complaining.
I know exactly. The comments are coming in hard and strong about how I'm not cute enough for you.
Hard and strong.
The reason there are no comments over there is because you're standing right there.
That's right. We exactly. You can apparently still get it in growlers, but they don't ship the growlers anywhere else. They've also won this year too for this particular beer, and I don't know where they're located.
Sorrento, east of Kamloops, if I'm not mistaken. And they merged with Left Fields, which is a cidery.
Located between Salmon Arm and Kamloops in a town called Sorrentos. We have to go there when the highway is rebuilt.
Thank you very much. I'm here all week.
On that note, Alan and I will be doing. That's why I put on this attractive getup. This is from our second Advent calendar. Unfortunately, this year it seems that the brewers out there are not doing anything new. So Alan and I will be doing the space case.
From Phillips.
From Phillips. Not sure when, though, because, Alan, I was doing a bit of research, and the Peanut Gallery reminded me that if we do it, because it only has 12 cans in it, and and the Peanut Gallery said, you should just do it during the 12 days of Christmas, which is actually December 25th until the 6th of January. So
that's not Advent, is it?
It is not Advent. Well, we've done Advent calendars, but maybe now, if we have 12, we should do it then.
Is it advertised as an Advent?
It is not.
Oh, I see.
It is not.
It's just trying to get rid of beers that were shitty from the year.
Apparently, yeah, that's what I. So, Phillips Space Case has. Oh my God, it's totally being out. Hold on to that end.
I got it.
I gotta turn this damn thing off here.
It's like Doctor Who fighting.
So here it is. Here's the space case
to make the beer real.
Exclusive, never released beers from our tasting room to your.
Do I look like Vanna White?
Huh?
Thank you, Vanna.
Yeah, a little bit.
Turn the letters.
Meet me in the dressing room.
Same hair.
So thank you, Peanut Gallery, for that. So anyway, the Peanut Gallery has suggested that we, yes, indeed, possibly do it from then until January 6th. So that might be the way to go this year, because I got to say, I'm a little heartbroken that the brewers haven't really given us an Advent calendar. So, but anyway, on that note.
So maybe we should make our own.
We could make our own, but we don't have enough time.
When does Advent begin? December, right?
The 1st of December, yeah.
I think we'll be okay for time. Are you that busy?
Yes, I am.
Like, apart from looking after Allison and fucking the dogs, like, whatever. Like, let's get some beer. Let's go buy some beer, label it, and have one every day.